Hey, what's up, guys? I've got another book review for you guys today, and this one is a really special one too. I've really been looking forward to this. This is the Single Model SM03, Single Model number 3 book from Mike Rinaldi. Mike is an American guy, and this is actually not his first book. I mean, I guess by the fact that this is number 3, but this is his third in his single model line, where the focus of the book is essentially on basically one model kit. But what's special about this is that this is actually his first soiree into gunplay. He's actually more of just like a scale modeler, and his other books that he's put out so far have been on like scale modeling, tank modeling. He did like the model of that Fu fish submersible thing, and then like another one is focused on another different kind of tractor too. And so like his specialty is more on like scale modeling and weathering and things like that. And he told me that for this book, that's what he wanted to focus on as well, because he's not really hip to like the whole Gunpla scene. So rather than going for like something that's really anime accurate or something, he wanted to focus on what he knows best, which is like weathering and just painting techniques. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So we'll get into this book, but I just want to let you guys know that this was actually sent to me directly from Mike. So I just want to say a big thank you to him. It was really awesome for him to offer to send me one for review for you guys. You can buy this kit actually though from USA Gundam Store, so you can use my coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, and you can buy this from USA Gundam Store, or you can buy it from his website directly. If you like the look of this book and you want to get this or any of his past books, you can pick up his past books as well on his website directly, which is just RinaldiStudioPress.com. So I'll have links for all of that down below. But let's get into the book. The first thing is the size of the book. I really like this size. It's like much smaller. I'm not sure how well you can tell, so here's an example. This is like a standard magazine size, the Gundam Hobby Life magazine that I recently looked at. But this one is much smaller, but still like about the same thickness. I think it's about 130 some odd pages in here. So it kind of goes through just from the beginning. I won't show you guys this whole thing every page, but I'll just kind of talk about a little bit of what's in here. This one is also signed, so I'm not sure if he signs everyone, but he at least signed mine, so thanks for that, Mike. I guess if you guys are interested in getting a signed copy, maybe just ask him directly on his website or Facebook or wherever else you can find him. Again, I'll have links to all of that down below. So this is basically going to go through introduction, painting principles, weathering philosophy, technique, proficiency, a few different techniques there: hairspray technique, practice and testing, oil paint rendering, assembly, painting, priming, HS application, painting, hairspray technique, decal and markings, oil paint rendering, final weathering details, model gallery, and then step-by-step reference. So layout guide here, it looks like it's got why and how. So that's also really important. I think that's a really good guide there. I guess I should bring this closer to the camera so you guys can actually see that a little bit better. But really awesome way to go about a tutorial is to explain why and how, because usually tutorials are just explaining how to do things without really going too deeply into why. So that's really good. I like that. And of course, the nice thing about this is that it's all in English. So like I said, he's living in America, at least. I'm not sure if he's American by birth. I don't know, but at least that's where he is now, living in Oregon. So you can say this is August 2016 is when he wrote this introduction. But this book has just come out, so you guys have maybe seen some stuff about this. So it's just kind of going through here. It's talking about the painting principles, weathering philosophy. Again, so this is getting into just the philosophy, explaining why I do things. And it says, why know the whys. I like that. That's pretty cool. So this I think will be great, because weathering for me is something that I personally definitely need a lot of work still on just to kind of get good at. I know it's just a lot about practice, but weathering for me is just kind of that scary step at the moment. And yeah, I just need to just buckle down, check out some techniques, and just give it a try, right? So there's about the technique proficiency, hairspray techniques, so we'll be going into that. There's tutorials and things like that online for that, but it'll be really interesting to hear from someone with such amount of experience, and nice to have it in book form as well. Which it can be nice to just refer back to the book. It can be much easier than referring back to a video where you have to watch the whole video again or skip around in the video. It can be a little bit annoying. With the book, you just have it all there. You can easily just flip to where you are. And I feel like there's a really good balance of photos and text in here too. It's not just like walls of text or just like only photos with little bits of text. So it looks like first he's just using kind of like the DOM drop in here as basically a test for some of this stuff here. So he's getting into just some priming, talking about the importance of priming, some different colors of primer there, testing, getting like the base colors down, and then getting into the weathering, applying some different weathering techniques. And yeah, really nice photos, really big, nice close-up, clear photos. You can really see all the details in there, and it looks really nice. I gotta say, just initial thoughts. I mean, I haven't read through everything, obviously, but I can just tell just from my initial thoughts, at least, if nothing else, the quality of this book is really, really nice. Looks like there's a lot of great photo references, information, and just the book itself, just the physicality of it is really nice as well. So, man, very highly recommended, I would say. If you guys are into weathering or you want to get into weathering, it looks like this is going to be a really, really good buy. I think this sells for $20 too, so it's quite cheap as well. That's quite reasonable for a book, and especially, like I said, there's very few books available on the subject in English, so it's a really good buy, I think. So now it's getting into the Sazabi and just talking first about the assembly. So I'd assume just kind of going over kind of the basics, working with the inner frame, talking about that. It's kind of interesting that I would assume that this book would probably be pretty interesting for a lot of people like him who are like into scale modeling, but maybe kind of interested in getting into Gunpla. So like I assume a lot of you guys watching this video are probably just fans of my channel and already like Gunpla. But it'll be interesting to read through this section to see like kind of the initial thoughts for people who like are coming from extensive experience of scale modeling and then getting into Gunpla. So I feel like if I was someone in that like skill set, this would be incredibly interesting. So it'll be really interesting to hear all of this section from that point of view compared to like experiences with different other types of scale modeling and resin modeling and things like that. So all right, now we're getting into just the colors. So it looks like he's got his colors here. The paints are all laid out for you, so you can actually see the exact specific paints that he's used for that. Looks like mostly mission models paints for the most part. And then getting into the primer, looks like black primer, and then using some different hose parts for that, just exterior mods. Obviously he's gone without the head crest on the top of the head as well, laying down some base coats of paint here, doing some masking, going through some more painting, and another comparison there now with all like the base colors down compared to the original. This is also a great reference just because I'm also just about to start work on my Sazabi. So I don't know if I'm really going to do much weathering on my Sazabi kit, but if I do decide to, this will definitely be a very helpful guide for that. So like I said, I'll be using the Infinite Dimension resin dress-up kit on mine, and should be starting that pretty soon. It's actually supposed to start that already, but for reasons, haven't yet. So getting into chipping and all of that. It'd be interesting to read this as well to see about how he talks about the difference in the scale of the chipping, just because this is a very small scale of a very large robot. It would be much different from painting like chipping on a tank, which is in a small scale but of a relatively small machine compared to the size of a giant robot like this. So interesting way to do a masking there for the numbers instead of using decals. I assume that's not like the most complicated thing in the world, but I've certainly never tried that, and I imagine that that's not very commonly done in the Gunpla community. I think we usually just kind of stick to decals, so that's a pretty interesting way to go about that. You can see it looks like, again, I haven't read this yet, it would be helpful to probably just read that, but it looks like he's maybe just like laid this out on the computer, just printed that out, just cut it out of a regular sheet of A4 paper, and the same thing there for the star as well. So that is another interesting technique. I'll definitely have to give that a try. So just doing some more weathering, then getting into the decals, decal application, dust and grime around the feet, kind of fading around the decals or the kind of markings anyway, so weathering those as well. Just getting into that really fine weathering there, where it's like really subtle, but that's just, it all adds to the realism of that. That's the thing, just weathering, there's just so many little steps and just little things that you do. You just layer it and layer it and layer it and layer it, and then finally it gets to looking really super realistic. and it's a really interesting weathering. It's a whole different monster that I'm just not I'm just not anywhere near the experience of doing stuff like this. So this is pretty amazing. And then here we get to just the fine details, and then it's just like a photo gallery here at the end, it looks like. Just some nice starkly lit photos, just to give it that really dramatic look. So yeah, just going to go through the last little photo gallery images here. Pretty awesome work from Mike. I gotta say, this is really nice. I really will have to maybe get one or two of his previous books as well, because although they're related to just scale modelings, I think that especially that fish submersible one looks really cool. But you can check that out. There's like sample images and things like that on his website. Check out his website, check out the other books. Again, if you want to pick this book up, you can pick it up from USA Gundam Store or from his site directly, whichever you guys want. And yeah, a big thank you to Mike for sending this to me. This is really, really awesome. So really happy to have this, and have to spend some time actually reading through it now and actually absorbing everything instead of just enjoying all the pretty pictures. So thank you as always for watching, guys. If you have other questions or comments about this book, you can leave those down below. I know USA Gundam Store doesn't ship internationally, so for international customers, I'm not sure if he can ship internationally from his site, but I would imagine so. I would say just go there and check it out. I haven't checked actually, but I'm sure if you just go to the site you can find out. Or again, or maybe if the site is not set up to do that, maybe just send him a message or something. You might be able to work something out with him directly. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.